What is up, my fiery amigos? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy GD Inferno. We're here, and what I have for you guys today is going to be the full-on guide of all the wonder weapons and zombies in Spaceland in 2024. This is going to be the very easy and most detailed guide on how to do all of these without having to rush it. But the first thing we need to do in this guide is just go ahead and get Pack-a-Punch open. For Pack-a-Punch, you go to each of the four main parts and then turn on the power and then go through the portal. For the power switch and journey into space, it's going to be on the wall outside of the rocket trap, closest to the bumper cars, and the portal is right next to the Volk wall-by. For the arcade, you go to the main entrance from Journey into Space, and then the portal is just next to the entrance to the arcade. The power switch is right next to it on the left-hand side, close to the barricade. Activate that, and then go to Kepler system. The switch is at the top of the stairs of the Moonlight Cafe, and at the bottom of the stairs is the portal. And then for Polar Pete, you go to the roller coaster ride just outside, closest to the mystery box. Inside Polar Peak is the power switch. Go down to the gift shop, and then the portal is right there at the bottom of the gift shop. Now, the first thing we need to do is get tickets. Now, the way to get tickets is simple. Either A, do some of Neo's challenges, B, activate some traps, or C, which is what we're going to be doing, is playing some arcade games. Now, there are 5 different arcade games that can help us out, that give you the most amount of tickets. These are Rings of Saturn Basketball, Black Hole Fun, Cryptid Attack, Zombie Zoom, and Bowling for Planets. The one we're going to be focusing on the most is going to be Bowling for Planets. How this one works, it's skee ball. You throw a skee ball, get it into one of the holes. There's a 1 point, a 25 point, a 10 point, and a 50 point. Your goal is to get it into the 50 ticket hole. Now, for this, I will align yourself with either the 3rd or 4th rivet from the right, and then flush your entire body so it's facing the machine straight, not at an angle. If you do this every time, you'll be aligned with the 50 hole every time. Now, apply pressure until the line is right about here. If it's right here, you'll get it every time. Throw the skee ball in, it'll kind of dribble a little bit and then fall in. You need to do this 3 times. Or is it 3 times? It's actually going to be 1 or 2. If you throw it into the 50 hole 1 or 2 times and then walk away from the machine, the game will bug out and then it will triple your tickets. Yes, you heard me right. Triple your tickets. This is the best way to do it, especially for this Wonder Weapon quest where we're going to need 950 tickets. Yes, you heard me right. 950. So I know for a fact skee ball gives you at least 2 to 3 tries. So if you do 2 skee balls worth of 100 tickets and then back away from the machine, you're going to get 300 tickets. If you do it for all 3 tries, you're going to get 900 tickets. With the added bonus of Neo's challenges that I would like you guys to try out. You should get the amount of tickets you need in no time. For Neo's challenges, we have melee kills, multi-kills. The next one is long distance kills. Next one is going to be don't go on the last stand. The last one is going to be kills while jumping. So if you did the 900 tickets and then are doing Neo's challenges all in the same bout, you're going to get the tickets you need. Now let's focus on what we need for the tickets. The first prize we're going to need to get is going to be the golden teeth. For the golden teeth, you're going to go to the left side here. Right there on the arcade table closest to the ammo refill. You go and grab those teeth, and the next thing we're going to grab is also on the arcade counter. It's going to be the cryo grenades. They are 350 tickets. And then the last one we're going to need is the arcane cord. This can be found at any of the prize booths. There's one just outside the arcade, so you shouldn't be too hard to find one. It's going to be the last slot of the prize booths. Now, the first thing we're going to focus on is going to be the batteries. Let's go ahead and start with the face melter. For the face melter, you need to at least have Journey into Space open. Now, if you'll notice, before you activate the teleporter, there's going to be a grenade symbol on the back side, and the same thing with the Pack-a-Punch machine. There's a little grenade symbol on the side. You might be thinking, can't you just walk through the portal with a grenade? Nope, can't do it. So we need to somehow teleport a grenade. So why not throw the grenade at the portal? Ha! Oh, what? It turned red. What do we do now? For this battery, we need to juggle this grenade that we threw in there and juggle it all the way to the Pack-a-Punch machine. Now we can throw in there a cluster grenade, a normal frag grenade, or a Semtex. These 3 work. Your goal is to just walk it down to the pack machine. Now, to juggle it, I would recommend just throwing it when it's about halfway through the cook-up time. You don't want to run. You just want to walk. If you run, the momentum will be different when you throw the grenade back down the floor. It will just launch it forward, and you have to try to catch it when it's half cooked. You know what I mean? It's not going to be ideal. So just walk with it and throw it down when it hits the half cook time. And when you get to the pack punch machine, look up and hold the grenade in your hand, and then throw it into the pack punch machine. When it's thrown in there, the battery will instantly go to you, and then you can go ahead and pick it up. Now for the face mounts or toy, it is the souvenir machine closest to the big giant building that separates the Meal Munchies and the machine. You need to put 3 blue tokens in here. When that happens, a little tiny toy rocket will come out, and then you have the second part. We're going to move on to the Discord right now, since the last part, the crystal, is the same for every single wonder weapon. For the battery for the Discord, you will need a pair of sunglasses. These can be found in the bags as low as round 1. Sometimes there's between round 3, round 5, maybe 10. If it's 10, I'm sorry. It just happens that way. For this one, you need to find 5 red targets. Simply shoot them inside sunglasses vision. There are 4 around spawn, 6 around the arcade, and 3 just outside the arcade. For the 4 in spawn, the first one you're going to need to go to the spawn hedge over here. It's the hedge that separates the 2 bridges. For the second one, you're going to go right above the bank. It's going to be hanging off there. For the third one, you need to go to Polar Peak entrance and look up at the giant Yeti at the face of the roller coaster. Well, sorry, not the Yeti, but the giant monster mouth at the face of the roller coaster. It's going to be right there hanging off the edge of the coaster. And then for the final one, you look under the bridge that leads into Polar Peak, and it'll be there. Let's go into the arcade, shall we? The first one's going to be above the power switch. The second one, you go up the stairs to the right of the Saturn basketball, and in that trash can, the first one you see is going to be inside that trash can there. Now we need to go to the window next to the Cryptid Attack. It's going to be behind the claw machines that are broken in there. Speaking of broken machines, you go down the machine, and then there's going to be a broken claw machine right in front of the stairs. You can see it there in this one I'm looking at right now. For the next one, it's going to be underneath the ticket booth where the Forge Freeze Wonder Weapon is. You can have to jump to see this one, or if you want to peer from the side, you can see it there too. For the last one, inside the arcade, is going to be behind the Discord Wonder Weapon itself. And then now we're going to talk about the 3 outside the arcade. The first 2 are around the bumper cars. The first one, you need to go into the bumper cars itself. It's on the left side, closest to the Karma 45 doorway. The next one, you need to go to the side window here with the gift shop on the outside. It's going to be the third window. I pointed out the second one, but it's definitely the third window out of the 3. And then finally, go up the ramp that leads to the Polar Peak from the back way. And as soon as you hit the turn, look to the left to where you can see the roller coaster turn. And you're going to see the target there, right where I'm pointing. When you have all 5, the battery will spawn in the middle of the disco dance floor in the arcade, and you can pick it up. For the souvenir machine, you need 1 of each token type on the outside of the arcade. So 1 red, 1 green, and 1 blue. This will give you the disco ball. Now let's go ahead and talk about the head cutter. For the head cutter, this is the one in Polar Peak. The battery is the most inconspicuous because you do need the crowd grenades for this. For this, you need to get at least a horde of 10 to 15 zombies and bring them to this area right in front of Polar Peak. Throw your crowd grenade at the Yeti right above the prize booth, and then it'll lean backwards and then lean forward, breathing cold air to freeze the zombies. For this, you need to get specifically headshots. When you get all 10 to 15, you're going to hear this sound. When you hear that sound, that is the Yeti roar from the gift shop in the Polar Peak. So you need to go to the gift shop, and to the left of the teleporter, there's going to be a battery inside the hand. Go ahead and grab that, and then while we're in here, for the souvenir machine right next to the Steel Dragon, you need to put 3 green tokens in this machine to get the Toy Yeti. Now let's move on to the Shredder. For the battery for the Shredder, when you turn on the power to Kepler, the water ride and the fountains will activate. So with this ride, there will be one love boat that rides all around in a loop. On the back of this boat is going to be the battery. You simply shoot it off the back with any gun, and when it falls into the water, it will then get sucked up into the pipes that lead to the fountains. So now we need to go into the fountains, and any of the fountains that shoot vertical are going to have this. They will spawn in one. You'll see like a red circle or a red line shoot from fountain to fountain. It's a game of whack-a-mole in a sense. It's really difficult to grab sometimes. So just be patient, stand by one, and when it pops up in front of you, go ahead and grab it. That is the battery. For the little toy, I don't know what to call it, alien, if you will, in the souvenir machine, you need to match 3 red tokens into that machine in Kepler system. It's right next to the Pack-a-Punch portal. You can't miss it. Now, I did run into a small problem making this guide. I think it's like 8 to 10 rounds, I couldn't get a 3rd red token for the souvenir machine, which absolutely blows my mind how heavy the RNG has to be. It's really unfortunate that I couldn't, but hey, that's how it goes. Once you have those 2 parts, we can now start on the crystals for all 4. For the crystals, we will now need the arcane core from the prize booth that I mentioned earlier. And we need to at least flip the round 10 or 11 or 12, depending on what time the brute wants to spawn in. What you need to do with the brute is take him to the alligator Snapchat and try to close it on him. Now you might be thinking, alligator Snapchat shut the brute and kill it? Absolutely not. Well, you'd be right. But we need to break its teeth. That's the only way we're going to break the alligator's teeth. Have him go under it, and then the brute will then put his arm up saying, hey, I'm protecting my buddies, I'm going to stop this alligator, and then the teeth will break. When you kill the brute and go back to the machine, the gold teeth you grabbed earlier will now need to be placed on the alligator. You place it on the machine, and then the back contraption behind the little uvula is going to appear, and that'll be the compartment for the crystals. What we need to do now is get trap kills, and then get zombies soul kills with the UFOs. The UFOs we unleashed earlier from Pack-a-Punch will now be out and about. The first one we're going to tackle is Journey into Space. I'd recommend starting with this one hands down because of the pathing of this UFO. Get 30 trap kills with this rocket trap, and then the UFO will start to move. Now for this rocket trap, if you are scared it's going to kill you when you go through it, it will. So just hug the outside wall on the right closest to the mystery box, and you'll be just fine. You can easily walk around it. You get kills with whatever weapon you want to get for the Wonder Weapon using the Arcane Core, and then it'll drop a little blue electric orb. Pick it up, and then you want to shoot the crystal out of the thing. Now, I know for a fact this one is going to be the second one out of the 4. So go ahead and shoot the second one, and then grab the crystal. For the next Wonder Weapon, we're going to be doing the Discord. For the Discord, it's going to be the Disco Trap in the middle. Get 30 zombies. This UFO will move around the arcade and the backside of the arcade, but not too far. It doesn't want to go like deep into the bumper cars because that's the pathing of the Journey into Space one with the rocket trap. Once it's done, you'll get a green little ball, and this one will shoot lasers. This one is going to be the 3rd one out of the 4. For the next one, we're going to be doing the head cutter. This one's going to be the Steel Dragon. This is the hardest to get trap kills for. You'll see I just kind of slide in and out. I wouldn't recommend having Trailblazers if this is what you're going to do, because the Trailblazers will kill the zombies for you, not the trap. Keep that in mind. When you get to 30, the UFO will start moving around, and then you can go ahead and kill the zombies. It goes all around the top of the Polar Peak through the entire pathing of like the gift shop and the ride, stuff like that. When you have this one, the container you need to shoot for the head cutter one's going to be the first container. And for the last one, you need to go to Kepler, and this trap is going to be the chromosphere. We need to get 30 kills again, and this will go all the way around the entirety of Kepler. Now, if you're thinking, hey, wouldn't the alligator trap kill the UFO? No is the answer to that question. When it gets to the alligator trap, it just zooms right through and then starts its normal speed around the entire section. So you don't have to worry about that. But when you have that one, you need to shoot the 4th container. And once you have all 4, you can now place all the items in each of the sections. For the first one, being the face melter, it's right next to the meal munchies perk. Put all 3 parts there, and then you have the face melter. The second one's going to be the Discord. For the Discord, it's going to be right where we found the target in the arcade. Put all 3 parts there, and you have the Discord. For the head cutter, it's in the gift shop with everything else that's packed into the gift shop. It's at the edge next to the door. And then finally, the shredder is the hardest one to find. You need to go into the underground section, but it's the door closest to the fountain, so it's not too far. I guess they ran out of room, or they couldn't put it in the corner where a zombie spawn is for some reason. I don't understand that. Anyway, it's sideways. You have to put all 3 parts there, and then once all 3 parts are there, you can have the shredder. Now, I do want to say one thing before I go. If you're doing the crystals solo, and you want to switch out arcanes, there are 2 ways to do it. One, you get a gun with an arcane core, like a second gun with an arcane core to do that way. Or 2, you can do the exquisite route. I am going to just talk about the exquisite core real quick, just because it's here. For this exquisite core, you take the core that you have in your hand. You need to pick up the crystal first before you can get rid of it. Once you have the crystal in hand, go to the pack-a-punch machine. And in that room, on the left side where you found the UFOs in the first place, you just hold X on the machine once you have the crystal, and it will just go in there. When you have all 4 cores in there, the exquisite core will exit the machine and go to the Kepler machine in the alligator mouth, and then for 2,000 points, you get applied to any gun. Now, it has added benefits. I think it boosts the perk abilities, as well as boosts your gun abilities too, which is pretty nice. It just sucks that I had to, use it on a Karma 45 for 5 rounds where I couldn't get a red token. Anyway, that's going to be it for this guide. I do hope you guys enjoy it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.